Hey, welcome to BCB Live. Drive safe, Dave. How was that Halloween yesterday?
Hey, man, I had a blast at my house. We had about 200 trick-or-treaters move through the neighborhood, and it was a scary, scary event. However, I was excited to see lots of heroes coming in and out. A lot of Spider-Man, and I think he was but Spider-Man played a big role yesterday in what was going on.
All sorts of characters went over to the Big Blue's house, watched a little bit of the football game. Through his neighborhood, they had policemen there. They had the Boy Scouts there directing traffic. It was, if you were in his neighborhood, you were in there for an hour. There's no getting out. It was absolutely insane. But I will say, I called Kendra up because, once you were there, you really couldn't get out of it. You were stuck in the house. You weren't getting out anywhere. Talked to Kendra. She was operating from our house, giving out candy. Said it was a great weekend of candy. A lot of kids came by and drive safe. It just makes me believe that, that it was our first almost COVID-free year of Halloween, and they were going crazy. And I'm telling you, there were adults walking around with in costume. Everybody was in costume. It seemed like yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I actually saw a couple of people come up and they had badges that says I've been vaccinated. And going in, and there was a lot of fun. Our neighbors even dressed up. Beetlejuice was next door on my right, and across the street was it looked like the Old West Cowboy Gang. It was pretty funny.
Now it's almost time for you to start getting your Christmas lights up, right? Get the inflatables out front. Where's that at, Miss Sandra? We got those ready to go yet?
Yeah. Actually, we had a 20-foot Frankenstein up already for Halloween. So we actually went and purchased some new big inflatables. So they're coming this year at the Dovers. We'll be in the front yard representing as soon as we put up the light.
So a couple things I wanna ask about that. Well, first of all, Christmas is coming up. As I was buying Halloween candy on Saturday, and as I was buying the candy, they were taking it down and putting up the Christmas candy. So it's on its way. But also, last year, I remember you saying that you had to clean out all your Christmas decorations, and now you were saying that you've bought new decorations that you can now replace with all the other decorations you just threw out, right?
Yeah, okay. So over the years, we've collected many outdated decorations and many unusable decorations, broken decorations we hadn't used for years. So part of the deal was, hey, if you haven't used it in a while or you don't use it, it's gone. Now, I can't restrict the purchase of new items because that would be how can you do that? That's not really fair.
The new means more stuff must go, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Like at a certain point, if you buy
recycled. We're
Okay.
all about recycling. And
Hey, but you brought up candy, and I may tell you that it seemed everybody ran out of candy. I know you said you left candy out front for people to come out
we
there.
ran out of candy.
But, Kendra ran out of candy. The Brzezowskis had people out there handing out candy. They were going through the kids that came back to the house, dumping their bags back in to hand more candy out, kind of recycling the candy. But it was, I think, and I saw texts from the moms too. What Kendra's asking me, have you seen candy anywhere? I guess people are trying to go out and buy candy, and there was a candy shortage.
Okay, to be fair, every single Halloween that I have ever had to hand out candy for, it has always been, what if you go out on Halloween night to get candy, you're not gonna find it. And also, what I've noticed, at least when buying bags of candy this time, it seems like certain chocolates were shorted within the bags of the candy. Like I got one Reese's peanut butter cup whenever buying one of those mixed bags of candy, and there was one peanut butter cup in there. And it advertised that there was peanut butter cups in the bag, and I mean, I guess one technically fills that, but I was very disappointed.
It doesn't
to find
fill that
it was
because
only
I
one.
think it's a S on the end of it, so there needed to be more than one to fulfill the advertisement.
Could have been an apostrophe after the S, showing ownership, right?
Yeah, this bag does belong to the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Hey, but no, it was so an odd. It was a great year to see the kids. Back
Weather was
out
perfect.
Weather was amazing here in
Yeah,
Texas. Couldn't
absolutely.
ask for better weather. But we did have bad weather over the weekend. We saw American Airlines come in with tons. How many cancellations did they have?
1,700 or something.
1,700 cancellations?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was 1,700 cancellations, which I
crazy.
believe was like 13% of their entire fleet of the DFW-based airline. And they actually left a lot of people stranded in the DFW airport. I believe over 800 people were stranded in the airport this weekend while trying to get home. But the weather, obviously, we saw a lot of winds coming in last weekend,
wind,
and
for
that's
sure,
what
right?
ended up canceling a lot of these flights.
343 flights canceled on Friday alone. They had another 548 cancellations on Saturday, but I don't believe Saturday had the winds, to that degree, right? And
No wonder.
Was it Halloween? Did the pilots?
I don't know.
Did they have to go trick or treating?
Yeah, no wonder there was a pilot uptick on the trick or treating last night. We had a lot of American Airlines pilots.
This is 2 out of the last 3 or 2 weekends now.
Yeah,
The last
Southwest
month,
was
for sure,
yeah,
where we've had major cancellations. Southwest Airlines being one, and and producer, what are the thoughts that we see? Is some of this because of COVID? Is some of it because of the mandates that say you will have your shots, or what are they saying?
Hey, honestly, I think a lot of people are. I don't think we're seeing as many people leave airlines as the news is making it out to be. I think that generally we just have a worker shortage right now, or a lack of people wanting to go to work. I think the reactions that we're seeing right now are mostly negative. A lot of people are pretty upset with the airlines. And I mean, even Kelvin Brown has typed in and said that his flight was canceled 3 times yesterday, and he had to go back to Orlando to catch the last flight last flight to Dallas, I should say, and even that was almost canceled itself.
But so you say that, and I'm just looking at. I remember reading the headline today, and it's the business area of the Wall Street, and the title is "Companies Challenge the Vaccine Exemption." The exemptions on the vaccine. We see it up in New York as well, right? Where the mayor there has came in and said, you know what? If
Today's
you're a
the day.
firefighter, it starts today.
Today's the furlough.
If you're in the police, you will have a vaccination.
Yeah, I think
people are fighting these things, and we saw that in the airline as well.
Yeah, I know. Especially here in Texas, I do know the governor has imposed I know the state governor has gone with his own sanctions in the opposite directions to polarize that ideology that you don't have to have vaccines, and if you do, and if you impose them, I'm going to fine you as well. So now we have 2 counterbalances, and I think 2 of the Texas-based companies like American Airlines and Southwest Airlines are going to try to follow middle of the road. I don't think it's fair for companies when we really don't know which direction the government's going to pull.
You don't think it's fair for companies what?
To understand the true meaning, especially a broad-based company like American or Southwest, when you really don't have a clear picture of what's mandated right now. I mean, there's going to be many challenges in the courts. As we see the firefighters, they have been struck down like several times trying to get a stop to it. But I truly believe that in the different regions and in the different courts, we're going to see some new definite challenges.
Yeah, and I'm going to put this out to you, the listening crowd, right now. Hey, if you have a question, if you want to, or not a question, but if you have a comment, what do you think of the vaccine and it being mandated in your industry? For the most of you out there, you're going to be the truck drivers of America. Should it be mandated? And if not, should you follow the protocol that says getting tested at least once a week as well? Drive Safe Dave, what are your thoughts? And let's just move into our industry, the trucking industry. What are your thoughts about making it mandated in what we do?
I have mixed emotions about it in many ways. I truly believe I always want to stay in the right of the individual to choose their own path. However, I have come from I came from a society or an environment in which vaccines were mandated a lot, and it was just a part of the way of life. So we just dealt with it on a regular basis in the military. You just got vaccinated. You didn't even think about it. And it was just what you did in order.
But going back into what we do here, I just want to hear your opinion. And they don't necessarily have to portray what we feel here at BCB Live. It's just your opinion. In the trucking environment, the trucking industry, these folks that go out and see everybody and we can even go to this degree right here. If we believe in this vaccine, well, with the driver shortage that we have right now, should it be mandated in our thing to keep them safe, because they are needed absolutely right now in this supply chain? Should it be something that we should just slam down and say, yes, you're going to get it?
No, I don't think you should have to mandate anything for anybody in this world. However, that I think the individual should choose. That's what I believe. I think the individual should have the right to choose. But that's just one person. But I honestly believe that we should all get, for the benefit of others, we should get vaccinated.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I can kind of go into what you're saying. I think, so two things, me, is that if you don't get the shot, then you're not allowed to get sick. I just, and to my heart, I just believe that if you didn't get the shot that was free, well, you're not allowed to get COVID. Now, if you've had the shot and then you get COVID, I'm 100% okay. It doesn't bother. I'm just saying, me as a person, just the way my mind goes that way. The other side that says, well, you can't make something like that mandated. Well, if we lost 14% of our drivers that said, well, I'm not going to do it. Well, we're in worse shape right now today by them doing that. And the testing facility, to go out and get a test, Drive Safe Dave, that means now who's going to mandate the test? Who's going to get that test done? It can't be done by the driver, him or herself, I wouldn't think. I wouldn't quite classify.
Even you mean that home test?
Yeah, even though we have the self-test, whether he's going to say, yep, I was clean.
Yeah.
I'm good to go. So I don't know how you would number one, enforce it in any place. But the other thing says, hey, you know what? Again, we got to remember, that the shots are free, and they're also they're going out for the kids as well, young.
5 to 11.
Yeah, 5 to 11.
5 to 11. Just we're waiting on the FDA has approved it. Now we're waiting on what is it? I can't remember down in the Atlanta Center for Control.
What about you out there right now? If that came down and it said today, you know what, this shot is going to be mandated. You have until November 5th, a pretty important day in the history as well, to get your shot done. November the 5th.
Yeah,
what would you do on that? And hey, raise your hand, put a comment in there. Give us some feedback, because remember, this is your show. This is a way that we can take what you're feeling and get it out to to those that need to hear this as well. We'll send this out to a lot of folks to let them hear your opinion. Remember, you are the driver. You're the one that's out there. You're the one that they're talking about.
Yeah, so I got one question for you, Sir Rick, and this is my main question to you. Those of that choose not to get it, for whatever reason they choose not to get it, how important is it that we be fair about the financial burden that those that choose not to get the shot and get sick? How fair is it that we continue to, should their insurance, should your employer insurance cover them if they get sick from COVID, if they choose not to get it and they get sick anyway?
Yeah, I think again that goes to the insurance side. I don't think we would have a choice on that. That's also mandated. Now, I don't think you could say, well, you're not gonna, we're not gonna accept your card. I do think maybe you could walk around. I mean, that's kind of like going back to the biblical times. Should they just have to walk around unclean, unclean? Producer,
what do you got?
Yeah, we got Chook, Tim, and Jeff Marsh. What you got for us, Mr. Tim? Hey, Chook.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What's going on?
Yes. Talk about mandate all that vaccine. I don't think it's a good idea because you put the virus into your body. It's not really cure your whatever you have, but once you have that virus in your body, your immune system accepts it. Once the other virus get into it, they don't give you the symptom that you feel sick or anything, but sometimes could kill you because you don't know what the symptom. They didn't give you the symptom.
Hey, thank you for that, Tim. And that goes into, just great conversation that we've had, that we've read on, that we see on all the news stations that, well, I mean, by this time, it's probably fair to say that the majority of Americans have been exposed.
Yes.
To COVID. I mean, it's probably fair to say, right? I don't want to say 100%, but pretty close to 100% have been exposed to that. Our bodies, haven't they already built, Drive Safe Dave, and immune to this to a degree?
Well, yeah, there is an immune that goes along with your natural, but the virus actually is 3 times better to give you protection against the variants that come along. Just because you've gotten one flu or just because you've gotten exposed to a virus and you build immunity to that, yeah, you are somewhat protected, but you're not as protected as you would be to the variant, or as these vaccines give you a much better chance of being protected going further.
Jeffrey Marsh, what you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, I think it's a bad idea to mandate because one, it takes away your civil rights of making decisions of your own self. It takes away your constitutional rights and stuff like that. And plus, there's too many people that said the vaccine and still died from it. So I don't see any use in having it done. You're gonna die with it or you're gonna die without it. It don't make sense to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying on that, Jeffrey, and a good point on that. And what we see probably more than anything on the protest is the civil rights, right? It's my right to choose.
Yeah, I get that. I've heard a lot of and there's a lot going on. There's going to be many sides to this story as we move forward. I just hope that, what's really interesting to know is that we're at 76% vaccinated in this country, which is a pretty good number, which means over 3/4 of the population have chosen out to get vaccinated. And I'll tell you, I believe that's truly why our numbers are plummeting across this country as this herd immunity has started to take effect in many, many ways. I mean, I think the vaccine has really benefited this country. I mean, can you imagine how many people have actually died from this from the virus, and not from the vaccine, but from the virus? I mean, hundreds of thousands.
Producer, who we got?
Well, I mean, we have a few people here. The COVID-19 pandemic actually just came out with some more numbers that it has killed 5 million people around the world as a total. But Brian Winsauer said that he has already received the 3rd booster shot, and for a couple reasons. One being that he doesn't want to get sick, distinctly remembering a fellow driver at the very beginning of COVID struggling with wanting to go home to see his family, but also not wanting to take the chance of them getting sick, and so feeling that the vaccine negates that risk, felt that it was a good idea to get that. We also have David Mason on the line and Tommy Jones after that.
Hey, Mr. Mason, good morning to you. Happy Monday.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, I just actually got the booster on Friday, the 3rd booster. But I was just going to add, in my opinion, as far as mandates going against our civil rights, in order to drive a truck, you've got to have a medical card. You can't drive a truck. You can't get a CDL without a medical card. That's a mandate. If you get certain medical conditions, you have to get it every 6 months. You have to get it every year. You have to have a CDL. We have to be part of the clearinghouse for the drug test. So there's all kinds of mandates that we already have to follow. And as far as one, if you choose not to get this, I mean, if a job says you can't work here if you don't get it, there's lots of jobs that already do that, such as, like Dave said, in the military. It's a hard choice, don't get me wrong, and I'm not 100% for it or against it, but it's not against our civil rights. I was just going to add that. That's my opinion.
Hey, thank you for that, David, and probably made more sense than anybody in what he just said right there. In what's mandated across, and great point. And I do know that Mr. Mason, as well as a fellow, grew up in the military as well. And I wonder, Dave, on that too, and I guess both Daves, is do we that grew up in a military family or was in the military ourselves, do we look at it different than those that did not grow up getting shots all the time? Probably. It was just what we did.
Yeah.
And I do think that we probably look at it different than what the other people, than what, say, non-military folks may look at that as well.
Absolutely. And because it's what we came from, it's where we came along. I like the argument, and I think what Brian Winsauer is stating, and some of the way you talk about it, it's sometimes it's also a selfless act, right? You're going out, you're also protecting others in what you do, and you're not protecting others by not going and getting the shot. So I mean, there's different ways to look at it, and I think that's a great argument.
So we've heard a couple people here too with the booster shots. Dave, have you received your booster yet?
No, I'm allowed to go get it 6 months to the date, and that will be December 3rd.
So I have, so I'm after you when I got my shot, so the booster. But it felt like that we were able to go and get those less than 6 months today. Is it still 6 months, or can you go anytime now and go get that booster shot?
Well, they say you recommended 6 months, so I'm waiting to the day, and then I'm going to go get it. So I'm waiting.
Hey, Tommy Jones, what you got for us? And good morning to you, sir. How about you, T. Jones?
Hey, hold on. All right, can you hear me now?
We hear you, sir. How you doing?
What's going on?
Can you hear me?
We do.
Hey, what on this? I'm like you guys. When I was in the military, they run you through the shot line like a bunch of cattle.
Amen.
Sticking in each arm and this, that, and the other. But the way I'm looking at it, regardless, a lot of people are, the Christian community is not helping none at all with the shot. And I'm a Christian, and the way I look at it, regardless whether you believe in the shot or not, our jobs depend on it in the most part. But when God gets ready to punch your number, He's going to punch your number whether you have the shot or not. It doesn't make a difference. And the way I look at it is that, is if your job depends on it, it's like Ryan said the other day, most of the customers we have is you got to have the shot before you can even go in and visit with them. So why not just comply and get the shot and have it over with? It's like the flu pandemic. Flu has been around for 70, 80 years now, and it's a regular thing that we deal with every day. And so what's the difference between that and what we're doing now?
All right, Tommy Jones, appreciate that. Yeah, no shot out there that will that can protect you from when the good Lord wants to take you home. I don't think. I agree 100% with you on that, Tommy. Great points on that. Drive safe, Dave. We're going to kind of shift this for a second, but I do like where this is at. Let me tell you a couple other things. Is that we're having these conversations, and that's, again, if you're new to BCB Live, we can have these conversations without attacking one another.
Absolutely.
Partly because we have the producer there, that's the controller, right? He can quickly drop a call or, mute something. No, but you know what? Great job, all of you, in presenting your case. And it's just conversation. We're just talking at the end of the day. But Drive Safe Dave, this reported by CDL Life that talks about the traffic fatality.
Oh, yeah.
We look at the first 6 months of this year, and we've seen the greatest increase in traffic fatalities, not just related to trucks, than we've ever seen since the study came out. And that was back in 2006 when they started tracking this right here. And while we talk about that, I want you to see this picture up here. I'm no marketing genius, okay? But if I'm Western Express, I'm saying, hey, come on. You don't put my picture on during this article. Put somebody else's. It's like it's a Western Express truck.
Yeah. Yeah. See here, see, look to the left, look to the right, before and after shot.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. I'm no marketing guy, but you know what? Hey, different placement next time. You owe me one, CDL Live. But Drive Safe Dave, it is, we talk about the accidents, and you know what? We go back to 2020, and it's a huge increase over last year.
18%.
Yes, right? Huge increase over last year, but a little bit different as well. We weren't traveling the way we did last year. Miles are also as high as they've been this year as well, as we've seen everybody back running on the highway again, the four-wheelers included, and they do say that some of the largest areas for the fatalities was distracted driving, drinking and driving, two of the major ones, and lack of seatbelts, which we've talked about on this show many times.
Yeah, I mean, and we go fundamentally back. Seatbelts, there's a mandate that saves lives. I mean, but we've got to learn. We've got to remember it's important that we continue to do seatbelts. It increases your ability to survive in an accident almost immediately by 50% by just clicking that seatbelt. And you have an opportunity to not only demonstrate that, but share that with your kids, share that with your loved ones, and make sure when they get in the car with you or you're out there driving around, make sure everybody's clicked in, right? Just continue, because it's a habit. And the habit that you do over 30 days will stay with you. You've got to create that habit. And that habit is clicking it every single time.
Yeah, 20,160 people died.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
In a half a year, right?
So, yeah, absolutely. In a half a year. And again, the largest since, and it's 18.4%. And again, driving while impaired, seatbelt, and speeding. Those were the three.
Right.
That was what was up this year, was what we've seen so far. So, you know what? We talk about it on this show about speed and space, about speed management, about space management. Drive Safe Dave, out there on the highway with more cars today than ever before, driving distracted more than ever before. You in that truck, you've got to be on your A game all the time right now, which means you've got to put down those distractions, because the four-wheelers, they're not going to. It's almost like they've got the shot for immunity, on that highway, that where I can text and drive. You know what? I can do that. I can do all of this, and that's not the case.
No, and look, let me just tell you, it is very easy to get trapped into the speed moment when all of you are traveling along like there might be 6 vehicles in a small wolf pack running, and then you go into another change of speed zones, but you all continue to run the same speed. Look, you've got to be the leader that slows down. You got to be the one that goes back to where you need to be to ensure your safety, and let everybody else. If you reduce your speed when it needs it and when it's required, trust me, everybody will look to that and change their speed accordingly. And you just can't stay in the pack and continue to drive at that high speed.
Yeah, and I wonder, in the world of metaverse, will speeding even happen? Are you a meta? I mean, is it metaverse?
Metaverse, yeah.
Facebook's getting their new name changed, and they're going to still keep Facebook, don't get me wrong. But yes, metaverse, will come out. And here's what Zuckerberg said. He goes, from now on, we're going to be metaverse first, not Facebook first. Producer, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, it is bigger than life, right? I mean, that world is bigger than any world that we live in today. Producer, what are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, it seems like they're just trying to pull back from all the backlash that they've been getting lately, and they're like, all right, fine. I know that Facebook's been that big part of discourse. We're gonna be meta now. Everything's
you just
fine.
Change your name and all is well. All is well, right? I mean, try that for the fugitives. Don't they try the same thing? Well, I'm not him anymore. I'm a new name. I'm a new person.
Branded new. They're trying to change. They've had several in just this year alone. They've had several whistleblowers, right? Regards to just Facebook and demonstrating how they're utilizing, not just ignoring the dangers, but capitalizing on the dangers which is a whole different gambit here. We're talking about, hey, it's not, hey, it might be dangerous. Hey, but it makes us more money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically, they're going, like, the last whistleblower that just talked to Congress was specifically talking about how Facebook is utilizing data from kids and being like, okay, how can we exploit these insecurities? Let's make some money off of that.
Yeah, is that ingenious or or is that bad business? You know what?
Insidious.
Okay, guys, I don't know what that is. But listen to this. So, how many people are in this world? Anybody know? Close? Roughly?
2.5 billion,
No,
right? Something like that.
That's more than that. I think it's 4.5 billion, sir.
Is it that many?
Yes, sir.
So Facebook has 3 billion monthly users. 3 billion monthly users, and you're telling me it's only 4.5 billion in the.
No, it's more than that, I think, because China. I mean, just think India and China alone. Look it up. I got to say I think it's 7.
Well, you're gonna.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
You
It is.
numbers.
It's 7.
7.753 billion. Yeah.
So 7 billion. So over nearly half of the world is using Facebook. Nuts, right? You imagine the data that they have. 3 billion now.
It's powerful.
Now, don't get me wrong. I
It's
mean,
powerful.
Some people probably have 3 or 4 different accounts, with 3 or 4 different names. I'm 18.
You know what they say, and it is true, and it always has been true throughout history. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You remember that, Sir Rick, just so that you understand that is a true statement that has always shown its true colors. Shall we go throughout history and look at the people of absolute power and how it has corrupted them absolutely?
Okay, let's start with Jesus.
What? He didn't claim
he had
but he did not
power.
But he did not want it.
He had it. Some of us don't want it either.
No, so he didn't seek it. Some of us do.
Hey, it is time for that phrase that pays. Drive safe, Dave. If you're new to the show, this pays big dollars on Friday. We're going to give it to you on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Come Friday, and this Friday, we're doubling up for $200. Give it to us, Drive Safe.
Winter weather can make you a fool. Slow down and play it cool.
One more time.
Winter weather can make you a fool. Slow down and play it cool.
Drive Safe, Dave. We're on the edge of our seats right now. Tell us what that means to you, because then it will mean that to us. That's how powerful you are.
I will tell you that when the seasons change and this winter weather comes, you can misread, misjudge, and not misunderstand exactly how the road conditions are. So you've got to slow down and not let it fool you, but slow down, do what you have to do in those situations, whether it be ice, snow, sleet, rain, fog. Any of these conditions can change in a minute. Slow down, be prepared, and don't be caught as a fool.
Buckle up, Bob, coming up next on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. BCB Live covers freight. Here we are now at 21% of record freight being rejected. News over the UK, they have the Army personnel getting ready to start driving the fuel trucks. Weather, traffic.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to some traffic and weather with Buckle Up Bob.
And most importantly, safety.
You can do many things to communicate that you are slowing down. You can flip your hazards on.
Expect craziness like this all the time.
75% of these fatal accidents involving these trucks are with the first two, and it's the driving too fast and tailgating. If this driver hadn't slowed down, this could have been a whole different outcome.
Tune in weekdays from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can watch BCB Live through LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe today and follow BCB Live.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to BCB Live. I'm Buckle Up Bob, and we got starting a great week, and I'm going to tease you a little bit. Stay tuned for the weather. You're going to be excited, but we're going to start a little bit with some traffic. You can kind of see the Dallas area. It looks really like a typical Monday. Not a lot just a bunch of little things for rush hour traffic. It does look, though, like there might be some issues coming up. Normally, we don't have coming to 35W from Burleson, just south of Fort Worth. You can see a lot of traffic, and that is in the northbound lane. So be mindful of that if you're coming up from the south, that you may run into some 15, 20-minute delays as you approach the Fort Worth 820 loop near Forest Hill and that. Same thing coming up from 287. Always critical here because this is really a bad interchange. You've got 20 east and westbound as you come around, and then you got to split. You got people coming over to go west and people coming over from the east trying to go north there, and it's really a nightmare right there. It looks like we've got a lot of issues there this morning as well. So please be careful as you go through that. The rest of it looks just like normal stop and go traffic. So you're just going to run into a few little pockets around the Dallas area. As we go to Kansas City looks pretty good. There is some rain coming in the area, just a little bit south there and west in Topeka. But again, you can see just a little bit slow down here on 470 on the eastern side, and they're coming out of Overland Park, going south. You can see a little bit of a slowdown there for Kansas City this morning. Chicago looks pretty good. Little right here in Plainfield, just a little, and that's coming out going south on 55, so not too bad this morning in the Chicago area. You can see coming in from Indiana on 8094 looks good. Bolingbrook looks really good, which is typically an issue. So the loops all look very clear in Chicago this morning for your morning commute. Philadelphia's got typical traffic. The Turnpike is congested all the way back to King of Prussia. So again, King of Prussia, if I'm not mistaken, is about a 30 to 40 miles to the city. So you can see all the way you've got some issues on 76 for about 30 miles there. So pack your patience. Stay in your lanes, folks, right? Changing lanes, make sure you signal, make sure it's clear, make sure you make slow lane changes in this heavy traffic. Same thing down here by Swarthmore in the southern part of 476 there. You can see as you approach 95, very congested as well in the Philadelphia area. On the New Jersey side, just a bunch of little stop and go, a little bit of a congestion here down by Deptford. So be careful if you're in that area. Atlanta looks bad today again, folks. So you can see 20 coming in from the east, heading west to the loop. You got a big back here by Stonecrest, and coming into the city from the west on 20, you also have a little bit of a backup here for about 20 minutes as well. Down here on 285, we've got some, and also always it seems like on the north and northern part of the loop is always congested. So please slow down this morning. Nashville looks like it's typical. 24 coming in from the south looks very congested all the way back here to Walnut, Stone Ridge, all the way up to Bakertown. You're going to see some stop and go traffic, so expect a 30, 40-minute delay there probably. Be patient, be careful, stay in your lanes. That's the key. The key is stay in your lanes. And then we always have some trouble, a little bit, not as bad as normal, I don't think, but again, you're going to see some 20-minute delays up there on the 24-65 merger in the Nashville area this morning. Baltimore don't look too bad, really. A little bit here up at the northern parts of the 695 loop, but everywhere else, south, east, west, looks pretty mild commute this morning. 295, got some heavy traffic here near Jessup, and then again down in South Laurel. As we look at 95, the northern part is very congested. You can see 295 is also congested. And then again, you've got some problems over here in Lincolnia, right? Just north of Springfield. So your DC traffic, not as bad as it has looked, but again, you're going to see some delays as you approach the DC area. Hey, our weather, look at that. Not a whole lot going on. We told you there's some scattered rain showers in Kansas, southern Nebraska, and it's just right in that near that Topeka area. If we can find it. There it is. So it's just west of Topeka, heading in there. As I teased you a little bit, St. Louis has a few little showers there popping up. But as I teased you, here's the good news, folks. Last week, we had wind all week. Guess what? This week, we aren't forecasted to get any wind. I'm going to take this out for you. So as you can see, it's going to take a while to populate. But basically, all the way out to Friday, we don't see the winds, right? Let's see what we got for the rain today. So again, it looks like our map is not going to cooperate with us this morning. So we will just kind of move on from that. There is going to be some potential snow out here in the Denver area. See if it'll come up now for us. Nope, not much going on as we go into today. So again, just, hey, be ready for the, there's some snow flurries in the upper elevations. They're talking about 5 to 6 inches of snow. But again, the temperatures in Denver are supposed to be in the low 40s during the day. So this is going to be the overnight. You got to be very careful. And so it may be just one of those things where you got to time it out if you can and travel during the day when the temperatures warm up. But it's mainly going to be the upper elevations, some 5 to 6, 7 inches of snow in the next 24 hours. And it's mainly going to be right up here on the Denver, Wyoming line, if you will. So again, our map's not cooperating with us. So that's it for weather today. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with some safety.
All right, everybody, we're back. And Bob, as we can tell, we're getting in. It's the 1st of November. What are your predictions on weather events in the month of November across the country?
We're going to see a lot of snow in the Northwest. Denver, Colorado, Utah. I really think we're going to see some here in the next 24 hours. The good news is the temperatures are supposed to warm up to the low 40s in Denver for most of the week. So it's not going to really stick or melt, but the upper elevations got to be really careful, and it's mainly going to be overnight. They're expecting about 6 to 8 inches in the next 24 hours.
I'm looking at, I'm trying to get your prediction about those areas that don't normally get those kinds of things. Like, if you were going to tell me, hey, Dave, upper elevations in November, you're going to see some snow, I'm going to go, that's a good guess. I'm going to go, I'm talking about in those areas in which we don't normally see that weather. Have you looked at anything?
Nothing in November.
Nothing.
I don't see anything.
Oh, nice. There you heard it here first from Bob that we will have mild and limited winter conditions in the outlying areas, correct?
And we probably will not. Most area, I will say 80% of the country will not see a white Christmas. You heard it here first.
Wow, there it is, and that is probably a better number than it has been in quite some time.
But I will tell you, look out February.
Look
out February.
Let's get through the month of November. We've got a lot going on in the month of November. But hey, so what do you got going on, Bob? What is the safety topic this week? I have been waiting on the edge of my seat to know what we're going to be talking about this week.
Well, we got our new CSA scores, so we're going to kind of go over them a little bit, and we're going to start with the most critical one to every carrier. And folks, we're not doing too bad. I'm doing some investigation because something just didn't look right. It was updated as of October 31st, yet it says we had no inspections with violations in the month of October. Now, don't get too excited because I just don't believe that. So something's not right, but if that is true, wow. But we've got, folks, we do still have problems. We are getting way too many reports. Drivers, I can't implore upon you enough to not take equipment that isn't compliant. When you do inspections, we are getting reports of trailers dropped with horrible tires, right? You've got to report this. You've got to inspection, and this is where we are. So we want to start with vehicle maintenance because We are at 3.46 points per violation, and that's where we get ranked in our category. And right now, we're in the 67th percentile. That ain't great, okay? That needs to be down near 50 or less, and that's when we really can feel comfortable. The threshold's 80. So what's scary is these things can jump 5-10% in 1 month just like that, but it will take many, many months of no inspection or clean inspections to bring that number down. It's not the number of no inspections that help us, it's the clean inspections, okay? Because each time, what happens, folks, so you understand how these points go. All the points you get, right, they're divided by the number of inspections times 3. So when you get clean ones, let's say you get 10, that's an extra 30 you get to change in the denominator without adding any points, which means you're going to bring that score down, right? That 3.46, let's say that was 170 points in violations. Now you get to add another, and you're dividing that by, let's say, 30, right? Now you have 10 clean inspections. You get to divide that same 170 by 60, right? It brings it in half, right? So you've got to have clean inspections. And the only way to get guaranteed clean inspections is to do good pre-trips.
Yeah, and I'm just going to throw this out there, just so make it as easy as we can say. It takes a whole lot of attaboys in order to clean up one uh-oh. That's pretty much, if you wanted to bring it down into a nutshell, right, Bob?
Yes.
One uh-oh can wipe out a whole lot of attaboys.
It sure can.
So
and
that's what
it's a big uh-oh.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about here, and that's how important it is that each and every one of these inspections goes well, because it doesn't take very many at all. Even you may let's just say they write you up for one thing, and in the next 5, they write you up for one thing. That right there alone is horrible to the score. It will destroy a score quickly, and these numbers can increase really fast. That's why the uh-ohs are so important that we focus on and try to get as many attaboys as we can.
Yeah, and there is so many things.
Or add a girl.
Yes.
Please don't think
you heard it. Hey, that is BR4569 for Drive Safe Dave. No, I'm just kidding. But no, you bring up a great point. And yes, vehicle maintenance, and we know DOT officers can find anything they want. But here's the thing, folks. The one thing that you have that should always be a 0. It is the easiest thing to be a 0 is tires. It is too easy to just look at them and see that you've got a bad tire. Don't take it. Get it fixed, right? There are some things that are hidden that the DOT can kind of use against you, and if they want to find it, grease leaks, right, oil leaks, all that kind of stuff. But what they can't do is when a tire is bald, it's bald. When a tire is low tread, if the tire is flat, you just walking around glancing at a tire is not inspecting it. You have to check the pressure. You have to know that that tire is at the regulation pressure, right?
Yeah.
You have to look. If it looks like it's thin, the treads are too low, right? Get a gauge. If you don't have a gauge, use a penny. If it's close to that Lincoln's head, you got to get the tire replaced, right?
Yeah, and it's easier than that. Look, Bob, and we're sitting here talking about it, and we mentioned it. It doesn't, bald all the way slicks don't occur. They don't occur overnight,
No.
right? Racing slicks is what we're talking about here. When the tire's completely bald all the way around, we're not. Those things don't happen in an instant, right? It's been getting there for a while, and it's been going on for a while, which means it's been ignored.
Yeah.
And what we can't do is we can't ignore the simple things. I mean, go get it fixed, right? Just go get it fixed. Call maintenance. Maintenance will be happy to get your tire fixed. I mean, they got national accounts at any truck stop anywhere in the United States. You can go pull right in, and bam, we'll get your tire changed out. We'll do whatever we can to help out. So maintenance is there for you. Pick up the phone and call them. And you know what? If you be sure that when you find a trailer in a bad condition, make sure you let somebody know that, hey, this has been here a while and something's going on, so that we can address those specifics. Because you know what? If you just tell us, hey, I need a tire change because it's bad, that doesn't necessarily mean that the guy in front of you left it bad, right? It just means that you have found it bad. So, but if you call and tell us that there's neglect on the trailer, that's when we really need to address those issues and make sure we understand, hey, this is a serious issue. I hope I let somebody know accordingly. Yeah, what you got, Dylan?
Yeah, we got Justin Hayes on the line. What do you got for us, sir?
What's up, Justin? So,
Yeah.
and you know,
Justin called one in, and we're working on that one.
yeah, you know, and I'll tell you, we all feel it, we all understand it, we all know it, we all got out there, every single driver has found a trailer in bad condition. Every single driver that is out there today is not alone in seeing something bad when they did their pre-trip, right?
Mhm.
Look, we work as a team. We must work as a team. We have to work. Don't leave bad equipment for the next guy.
No.
Or gal. Don't do it. Make sure that you do your part. And you know what? If you do find a trailer when you do your post trip and there's something wrong with it, call it in and let us get to it as quickly as possible. Because if we have to, we'll send somebody right out there to change it or do what we can before the next person picks up the trailer.
Yeah, and when you do these kind of things, you know, one of the two things that just scream to me a lot, we talk all the time about being a family here. You know, when you have equipment that is not compliant, you are saying two things loud and clear. One is, and then especially when you drop it off and don't say anything, you are saying, I don't care about my fellow driver. And I don't care about protecting life and safety, because you can't take that out and say, I care, right? You can't. And you can't drop it off and say, I care. I mean, it just doesn't go, right?
Absolutely.
The action itself. So we got some videos,
All
right?
right.
What do we got? Hey, so
Miller?
here's what I want to show you. These are some of the new technologies, and the dash cam would actually give this driver an in-cab alert that they ran this stop sign. They rolled through it. The AI caught this. This was an alert where you can see it's on the back. There's no traffic, but still, the stop sign's there for a reason. I'm not sure why. When you look at it, there's nowhere to come from the sides or anything, but there is a stop sign there. So make sure you obey the signs, right? These cameras, this is some of the new technology. You can see the miles per hour up there in the right corner. This is really some great technology of what the new camera system can show you and how clear they are. Here's one. Oh, so we can't get the, shoot. Well, these videos aren't what we wanted to see. All right, we're going to try to work on that, guys. But right now, this is actually showing, this in the real time shows 0.9. We got to get the producer. I thought he could do everything, but apparently he cannot. So we're going to challenge him, the technical guru, to find out how we can get these videos up and see the actual. Right now, there is a red triangle or square around that vehicle in our lane showing us that we are too close.
And by the way, you are one truck length away from the vehicle in front of you.
Yeah.
And at 68 miles an hour, you are way too close.
Yep, and you can see, yeah, you don't even have to know how to measure it. Right there, you can see.
You're a truck length.
About 85, 90 feet.
That's
right?
it. You're way too close at 68 miles an hour, right,
Yes,
Bob? Good
correct.
good technology.
Yeah, but what really neat is it shows that screen up there. Same thing here. And again, what we're seeing with the new technology, 69 miles an hour, we're traveling 100 feet per second. So if this looks like a good spacing, it's not.
No, at all.
It's actually 0.8, 0.9 seconds following, and this is what the data gives us.
Yeah, and you don't actually have to have a lot of data here to measure it out yourself. Cross one of those white lines and go 1,001. You're not even a full second away from this at 69 miles an hour. You're way too close, and you know what? Utilize that time, utilize that count. Understand the distance between you and the vehicle is relative to the speed at which you go.
Yes, because we've actually had that question, you know, as we reviewed some of these, we're like, hey, well, this one looks farther than the other one, yet they both say 0.9. Well, I got the guy that called me on it, I said, yeah, look at the speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay, but time is, that's why we always say, you have to be time. You can't use distance because the speed does affect the distance. What doesn't affect is the time. You got to be more than a second.
That is correct.
And that's what I love about these things. Here again, you know, and what we're seeing is we just, we look like we've got spacing, but we don't.
No.
Right? And now we're going to even go worse. And right, and there, brake lights.
Yeah.
And look at that. That car's got some kind of weird lights going on, the flickering there. I've never seen that before.
That
That's
might
not
have
a police
that.
car.
I think that has to do with the video.
Is it? Or is that maybe a new safety?
No, I
Feature on
think
cars?
it has
No?
to do with the video.
Okay. So again, you know, hey, tailgating, gotta keep the space, folks.
Yeah, it's important.
Here, you know, great. We had space coming up to the exit. Again, I was working an accident, so I didn't get to look at these as clear as I wanted. and then boom.
Oh, yeah. That happens. How many of those have you seen a day?
Great job getting the big picture by that driver.
But, you know, having that great space in there made that for you know, that kind of stuff's going to happen.
Yep.
You just got to be wary and understand what's going on.
Yeah. Love this one. Even the other vehicles seemed to know the traffic was checking up and how quick everybody got on the brakes. Great, great job. Look at the spacing's great. Just a terrific job, and then recognizes getting the big picture on an overpass. Just a phenomenal job there.
Good job.
Here again, smoke up ahead. There you can see it kind of coming to the picture. Don't know what happened here. We're going to see if something caught on fire. Oh, man. Woo. That is weird. Never did get to see what actually happened there. So hopefully our Hayes team.
Everybody's slowing down before they enter that.
Yeah.
Everybody's, look at that.
But you know what I love here too, Drive Safe? You know, obviously vision's compromised. Slow it way down, and they stayed in their lane. Don't be changing lanes.
No.
Great job by this driver.
Yeah, good stuff. There's some traffic.
Yep. Watch what happens. Whoa! He's going to back up.
Oof.
Oh, scary, scary. Great job again. Slow your... Folks, this is all it takes. Just slowing down and getting that big picture so that you can react to stupid, right?
Yeah, and
I mean,
moving
it
over,
is what
and
it is.
moving over into this lane to avoid the chaos, and guess what? It still tries to encroach on the lane that you tried to get over.
Oh,
See,
great,
look,
great.
moving over here, just,
Yep.
hey, look.
Should have never pulled out.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, good job.
Yeah.
Great job. Way to be prepared. Ready to stop. Look at that. Plenty of room to stop.
Super, super. Hey, intersections are dangerous, as we said. Running a yellow, and there goes a motorcycle. And folks, we know how hard motorcycles are to see, right? So again, what a great job by the other traffic, not just jumping out there when it turns green. You know, I remember getting teased months ago by you, Drive Safe, when I said, yeah, I even stop at green lights. And what I meant was I pause at green lights, right? When you're sitting there and it goes green, pause and look and make sure somebody's not going to do what this motorcycle did.
Hey.
And don't take a quick glance because it's hard to see.
Hey, you know, and as the vehicle's turning right, I want to tell you, I'm most impressed with stopping well before the solid white line, the pedestrian.
Yeah, when you can see that white line, you're a good 8-9 feet back behind that line.
Great job there.
Yeah, a lot of good videos, a lot of great technology we're going to come up. Does anybody got any comments out there for us this morning?
Yeah, we got Daryl Shipman on the line. Daryl, what you got for us
What's
today,
going on,
sir?
Daryl?
Good morning,
Can
Mr.
you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. That first video showing that rolling through the stop sign,
Yes, sir.
that was me. And what it is, I'm on Miller's Kerr's
Backside.
property, and I'm heading towards the exit. And that first stop sign, it says stop only if you got trucks coming at you, because there's a curb up there that two trucks cannot pass at the same time.
Ah, good job. And hey, Daryl.
That's what it is.
Hey, that is awesome. And folks, the other thing about the great technology here is when these pop up and we talk to the driver and they tell us that and we look closer at that sign, we can go and not have that hit their safety score.
Nice.
Because that's not their fault, right?
Right. They're following the rules of the road.
Yes. So it's just want everybody to know, just because you get a stop sign violation, we look at those, we have the ability to say, nope.
Hey, appreciate that, Daryl. I've been back there on that back road. That's when you go from one side to the other side at Miller. Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, we also got Alex Rodriguez and then Jeff Marsh. So what you got for us, Alex?
Alex, are you there, buddy?
All right, Jeffrey, what do you got?
Jeffrey's a little mad this morning.
Why am I mad this morning?
You didn't see the end of that race?
Well, yeah, but for some reason I missed that wreck. But I watched it on the highlight.
What do you?
It's all right. I'm still in the championship 4, so I can still go for the championship. So
What do you got for us this morning, buddy?
I was just gonna back what Daryl was about that stop sign and everything,
Yeah.
but David Dover already did it. So, but yeah, that's that backside over at Miller and Fort Worth when you go from the guard shack to the dock area.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Hey, it is that time. Drive safe, Dave. Are you ready to close us out with a little prayer?
Absolutely. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today, this day of all days, to ask for your grace in all things. Father, we come before you today to ask for your strength and your forgiveness and your power today to do what needs to be done, to do your will on the world as you see fit. Father, give us the purpose in life today to be a blessing upon somebody else in some way, shape, form, or fashion, so that we can go forth and do what needs to be done. Keep us safe, keep us protected, and in your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll be back this afternoon at 2:15. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
I was watching that because my